So the 3DS is rapidly approaching in the US 5 million units sold, which is a great number, faster sales pace than DS at the same point in time. Business is good, we want it to be better. Our pace is above DS, which is not something that we would have expected given how strong DS sold, but we've got a lot more work to do. My perspective is this: certainly Western developers historically have been wanting to see that larger install base before they jump in behind a platform. For the most part, Western third-party developers focus on home console, versus in Japan, the lead SKU tends to be handheld. So that's another different dynamic that's going on. But candidly, I think with the progress we've made on 3DS, and certainly with the lineup that we have coming for this holiday, my expectation is that we'll certainly see a lot stronger Western publisher support, because they're going to see the size of that install base to sell into. To excite the more active player, we need Assassin's Creed, we need Batman, we need Mass Effect. And so making sure that we have strong third-party support on those genres, critically important. That's our thrust for the hardest of the core. For the more casual consumer, what we need to have are great pick-up and play experiences. Experiences that could be in a party-type atmosphere. All of the things that we've learned, candidly, with the launch of Wii. And so we'll also have all of those great games. For us, we need to have that broad spectrum of gaming experiences, and if we do that, we'll attract everybody. They don't label themselves core versus casual. What they say is, boy, I want to play that game, and we need to make sure we have that game for them to play. I think that Nintendo Land and the collection of 12 attractions that game will have are a fantastic representation of asymmetric gameplay, right? I'm doing something with the gamepad that you're not doing when you have the Wii Remote Plus. I think it's going to be one of the best examples of Miiverse integration. That's why we believe Nintendo Land really is our best foot forward in helping explain the Wii U concept. I think it's illustrative to go back and look at the Wii launch. At launch, there weren't a ton of titles. What we did have was Wii Sports packed in, which gave a lot of enjoyment. But if you truly look at the launch window group of games, it was actually a bit sparse. You look at where we are right now, we're pretty confident that there'll be a great pacing of content during those first number of months. And then certainly Nintendo's actively working on, so what's going to be that next grouping of titles to propel us all the way through our second holiday. So, we're giving it a lot of thought, and for that active gamer who's looking to buy something brand new on a regular basis, there's going to be a lot there. It is critical for us to pace our games in a way that's going to drive that momentum. And interestingly, again, if you go back to the launch of Wii, we had some games at launch, and then there was a bit of a lull. Then we came back with some more. So, there's not an exact science to this, but clearly, if you look back at 3DS, what we didn't have at 3DS was, at launch, the first-party killer app, right? It was not Steel Diver, it was not Pilot Wings Resort, but, my job is to launch the system and to drive its install base, and we're going to do that very effectively. And then, hopefully I create the opportunity for third party to jump on board. Nintendo believes in being a mass market product. So, unlike our competitors when they've launched historical systems to maybe start at a really high price and to work their way down, we don't believe in that. We want to launch at a price that's going to represent an ongoing great value. You look at the Wii, we stayed at $250 for a really long time. And so we're going to give that same level of thought to the Wii U. How do we launch at a value that we're going to be able to sustain for a long time? And I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised, if you will, about the way we're managing the value equation. We don't look at what other people are doing. We step back and say, what would be fun, what would be unique, what would be different, and that's what's driving us. But having said that, is our vision that consumers are going to be super excited about Miiverse and super excited about what it represents? Absolutely, absolutely. The way that we're going to integrate it into the games, the way that you'll be able to pop in, pop out, do your messaging, get information, we think is hugely powerful. We're about to launch a tremendously powerful system that pushes out great graphics, a system that has an opportunity to do a lot of things. You know, what I've heard the fan community say is, I want my Mario, I want my Zelda, and I want the best of third party. And that's what we're looking to bring to consumers. And so, you know, I think in the end, the consumer choice is going to be, you know, once I buy my Wii U that satisfies, you know, my Nintendo cravings and my cravings for, you know, all of these other great multi-platform franchises, then what is the role of a competitive platform? And to me, that's the million-dollar question, is, you know, of our potential competitors down the road, who's going to have that compelling content that's going to say, okay, now I need to branch out and pick up this additional system? I think it's for them to answer.